Uh, Good? Already? Okay, great.
The Gossip Wine Podcast.
Hey everyone, this is the Gossip One podcast, and today we have a really amazing guest, Stuart. Hi, Stuart.
Hi, how are
How are
you?
you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing awesome, thanks, and it's wonderful to be here. Thanks so much for having me on.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much for
we
finding time. Yeah.
Yeah, for
accept you.
sure. I mean, that's a trouble at the moment finding time. There's always something. There's always deadlines and
Right.
everything. But yeah, I'm glad we could make this happen. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's really awesome. And I know Stuart, well, actually, under weird circumstances. I moved to Portugal, and you, Stuart, as I remember, have the Nomad platform. And I
Yeah,
know it based in Lisbon, but like maybe elsewhere. Would you tell us a bit more about that?
yeah. I mean, that was
Yes.
that was a while back now, thanks to COVID. Yeah, basically, I've been a nomad for like the last 5 years. I was actually moving from country to country every week at that point. It worked out on average every 5 days. I was in a different country.
Dang.
And yeah, it was kind of crazy. I started off with a suitcase and a backpack, and then eventually they lost my suitcase. And so I just carried on with a backpack. My whole life was in a backpack. It was awesome.
Wow.
Now, my amazing friend and co-founder of Badass Empire, Victoria Loskatova, she was living in Lisbon. She also lived in Esprogende, which is just north of Porto. And so I used to bounce into Lisbon quite regularly so that we could work on stuff. And also I went to Lisbon for like Web Summit and all of these big events where I was speaking. Um,
The Nomad thing is like a program or is just something that you chose to do?
so yeah, basically what happened was, I had a big trauma in my life, and
Hmm.
after that, I realized that you gotta stop living life according to what society tells you. You gotta live life based on your rules. You gotta do what you want to do, like every damn minute. Not even every day,
Hmm.
every and so I changed my entire life, like in the space of 2 weeks, 180 degrees, absolute 180 degrees. Had a three-bedroom house, had the big car, I was married, I, had the cats, the huge garden, the whole thing, but it wasn't what I wanted. And so I changed everything. And, the big house and all the contents that went, everything went to recycling or charity. And I
Hmm.
packed my bags and I started traveling. And I've done so many incredible, amazing things, and that's by design, because that's what we only get one life. It doesn't last very long, and so you got to make the most of it. I've been reminded of that again today. A dear friend of mine passed today, and
Oh, sorry to hear that.
under really weird circumstances. And it's a reminder when these things happen that you've got to take life by the balls, and just like do what you want to do every single damn day, because it's can be over like that, and you just have to like really really do what you want to do, and not just follow what society tells you to do.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. That's pretty cool, man. Like I never thought of doing something like that. Maybe it's in my future. It's,
Yeah,
Well, I'm not moving to every country every 5 days, but I'm a little bit closer there. But like, anyways, speaking of countries, how many countries then you've been to so far?
well, so far 86. So I have a way to go yet to hit my goal.
what's
Dang.
your goal?
I've got this really weirdly specific bucket list for, like most people's bucket lists to like jump out of a plane or run a marathon. Well,
Uh-huh.
I've done those, so I can't really put those on my bucket list. So,
Okay, okay.
I've got weird things. I've got like, I want to date Taylor Swift and then dump her so she writes a song about me.
That's the spirit, man. That's the spirit. Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
I want to make enough money to have Morgan Freeman follow me around and narrate my life in real time.
Oh,
Um,
I love it. I love your energy. I love that.
and I want to party all night in 166 countries, and I've done 86 so far. So I've got another 80 to go.
yeah,
Oh,
that's amazing.
wow.
Wow. Like, okay, which is your favorite country so far? Like, wow.
Um, that's really difficult to answer because even though different places have their own energy and they have their own amazing cultures and
Right.
obviously they have their own views and landmarks and everything is amazing. The reality is it's never really been about the place apart from ticking off the 166 party all night thing. It's never about the place, it's about the people. I go to these places because either people want me to come and speak at an event that is there, or because I have friends there. And I'm blessed to have like thousands of friends all over the world. And
Yes.
it's always about them and not about where they are.
Really.
And that's good. It's like you meet people in network when you're going out, right? In these countries too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I when I go to different countries, I try to meet people and like, hey, hey, bro, can I come back here? You show me some of this that I haven't seen this time. So that's pretty cool. I respect that.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
But like at
And
some point, like this year, I hit 30, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna invite all the friends around. But since they're all over the globe, this pandemic made it hella difficult. Like no one came because the restrictions and
yeah.
everything. But at the
Yeah.
same time, like whenever like I go, I can either have someone there, to guide me or whatever, or like even place to crash. Or yeah, once you meet someone there, and like it's always associates with that. And yeah, I totally agree. But speaking of which, where did you live longer while you were like traveling within like this 86 countries besides your native country?
Yeah, probably the place I stayed the longest would have been Marrakesh. Um,
Marrakesh.
so there was this opportunity to go to Marrakesh, to stay with my spiritual advisor there, and it just happened to be over the holidays. So even though I don't celebrate Christmas, I had Christmas and New Year in Marrakesh. So I was actually there for like 3.5 weeks.
Okay.
So I mean, that's a long time for me, but it didn't really affect the average too much because the average 5 days, it might have been like 7 days in one place, or it might have been like 2 days or one day in another. I mean, there was this one crazy time when I'd gone to London for an event, and then I flew to Bali for 3 days for an event, and then I flew to Moscow for 4 days for an event, and then it was like San Francisco, Los Angeles, Nashville, New York, and then Lisbon for
Wow,
what's
that's
now.
like literally like all
Yeah,
over.
Circum
like
Because I think flights sometimes take
circumnavigate the
longer,
globe.
than you actually spend time there, like back and forth flights. I mean,